What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Persepctive. Excited to be back with everybody. Good to be back in stage.
Yeah, it is good to be back.
Stage, studio, you know.
All these things have happened. It's like 42X, our wealth building conference, made it through the new year. So many things have happened, and we just haven't had a chance to come in and document it in a Persepctive episode.
Took a quick time out.
Yeah, I'd just say we got a little busy. But
we're back.
Yeah, we're back, and it's been all good stuff. We wanted to start with recapping February's numbers.
Our best winter month yet.
Yeah, so if you're going like Q4 or Q1, it was our highest producing month in company history.
Yeah.
So wanted to talk through some of those numbers, starting with our top teams. Kaizen bringing in that number one spot, 35 accounts closed. Number 2 was Arbor with 30. Number 3, Redemption. They had that massive blitz, 27 accounts. Predators with 26. Davis with 23. Team Exclusive with 20. Absolute with 18. Alpha with 16. And so on. You know, the list is competitive. The thing that I always hear Quade say about our top teams this year when we're looking at it week to week and month to month, it's just lining up to be such a competitive season, 2023, with the way that these teams are assembled and kind of what their head counts are and talent level. I just don't know who's going to go be the top team in the company this year. And that's fun to go see that get really competitive.
Yeah. Sometimes you see, somebody start separating and pulling away, but we're not seeing that right now. So it's cool.
Yeah. A lot of teams performing really well.
Yeah.
And I think that's wide open for someone to go prove that they're the best team at Radix this year. Getting into the lead rep numbers, you want to go through those, Nick?
Yeah, so the lead rep, what I love about this list is it also, tags also people doing self-gen, right?
Yeah.
And so you kind of start seeing the guys that are just getting out and getting gritty. And on top of that list is Paulo, 15 in the month of February, absolutely dominated the month. So good work to you. Mr. Consistent right behind him, Tate Moser with 14. Then Parker Nelson, who continues, he's as well, another really consistent one with 9. Dylan Manzanares with 9. Tiago Varela with 8. Jonathan Flax with 8. And then this one's fun for me, but Bree Nelson went out. She went on that blitz to Vegas as they were opening up Vegas and dominated out there. She finished the month with 7, and Jacob Madsen with 7. So it's a good group.
Yeah, if I'm a DM in a market right now, I want Bree on my team. She was out there for a week and a half.
Yeah.
Like closed 7 deals. Just incredible.
Yeah, super impressive.
And a fun list there. Paulo, congrats on being the number 1, all self-gen. So when I move over to the closer list, we had Jacob Shreve, number 1 in the company last month with 21 closes. But next in line is Paulo with 15. So 15 leads, 15 closes. Great job on those self-gen accounts. Jared Russell with 13. Another massive month for Jared. It's like January 1 hit, and Jared's like, I'm going to dominate this year.
Remember
yeah, he just turned it on.
When you couldn't sell pest control in January and February?
Yeah, he's like, oh, wait, I get to make money all year?
It's
and it's
so
10
much
times
better.
more money than pest control. Yeah, he's taking full advantage of that. Nice work, Jared. Jordan Perez with 12. Dalton, massive month for Jordy.
Yeah.
Dalton Robinson, 12. T with 9, Parker with 9, Logan Wolf with 9, Dylan Clark with 9, McCrae with 7, Q with 7, Caden with 7, Nate with 7. 7's going forever.
Yeah.
Something about our leadership line, right? Guys know where they got to be to stay above our leadership line.
We changed that, Quade.
Yeah, we might need to move that up to 10. But congrats on the massive months. Really, really fun to see us producing at that level. Thinking about February as a whole, 300 accounts. Now we go move into the ramp up of the spring. Weather starts to get warmer. The hours get longer that you can be out there knocking the doors.
Yep.
And then summer hits, so we get an influx of sales reps. I really think we're going to go smash 1,000 accounts in a month this summer.
Yeah, I think we will too. And it's important to know as that's happening, as we're gearing up for, there's also time for family vacation, spring break, summer break, all of that stuff that's happening. Like, it's good to know that you have a plan, right?
Yeah.
Like as you're thinking about the NSL and different competitions, make sure that you have a plan going into it. How are you going to spend your days? How are you going to work your days? You have more light at night. You know, people are home from work. They're willing to talk because it's good weather outside. That plan is important.
It's like the best management tip we could probably give right now,
Yeah.
right? Because the ones that actually win in leadership in this industry are the ones that decide right now what their structure, what their communication, what their calendar looks like, how they're going to go execute on those things, and all of that creates your culture. And so to me, that plan, spending a few hours a week right now, really planning out how the year is going to go, it's so fun in this industry because you literally get to go write your story and then go do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Be the man with a plan. Speaking of being the man, one of my favorite, I don't even, what do you call it? Like a poem? Man in the Arena.
Theodore Roosevelt.
Yeah. I've loved that forever. I actually think Quaid has a big picture of it up in his house. This idea of being the man in the arena. And we were talking about it earlier, but it's like on social media, you know, the tip for everybody, it's like, hey, you want to be an influencer, like start putting out content, right? Like just start saying things and doing things. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to even be there yet, right? Sometimes you can just portray that you're there or pretend that you're there, but the rest of the world doesn't know that, right? And so you might not necessarily at that moment, that guy might not be the one in the arena, right? Yeah. He might not be the man in the arena, but he's speaking almost as if he is.
Yeah, go document your process. Like people want to see the journey start to finish. It's been such an interesting thing within our industry for me to watch because over the years, you know, experts used to be seen in a certain light, maybe certain degrees or something that they have or tenure. And now social media kind of determines the experts.
Yeah.
And the reality is there's a lot of people out there claiming to be mentors or coaches. My thing is who are the guys actually willing to go be in the arena, to go be in the trenches, to go give the sweat, blood, and tears to go actually build something. And some of that involves vulnerability and some of it involves risk. And it's such a challenge to actually go be the guy in the arena because the challenge there is that you can lose. Failure is an option when you're in the arena.
Yeah.
And anyone that's not willing to admit that's just off, right? So to me, I go look at that from an organizational standpoint. And this last year, as we've pivoted from being a sales-only business to an operational business and an EPC, there's been so many challenges there. Like just hard stuff. Nick, you've been right in the middle of that stuff. You've been the man in the arena, really taking charge and leading through building out that side of our business. But it's so necessary, right? If we don't go do that, then what opportunities are we missing as a business because we weren't willing to risk or weren't willing to go challenge ourselves and go put our name on it?
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of the operational side, and you go look at all these different companies who take it on and it's just so easy sometimes to think like, oh, the man in the arena has it easy, right? Like he's got the glory, he's got the trophies, the good looking wife, whatever it is, right? Like the man in the arena just appears to be unstoppable. But I like that you talked about vulnerabilities because the reality is that you get in the arena, you'll never be perfect ever, but you don't ever get in the fight unless you're actually in the arena.
Yeah. Unless you're willing to go be the one that makes the mistakes and learns from them. And that's where the growth happens. So our challenge there is for everybody from a leadership standpoint, go, don't just say it. Don't just go document it on social media. Do those things. That's great. But also be the guy that's willing to really be in the arena, to go lead the way that you know you should. The last thing that I had today was a quick 42 tip. We just had our wealth building conference and I keep thinking about takeaways and what's really relevant from that conference. There's such a huge opportunity to make an insane amount of income in solar. I know that guys are heavily investing right now. It's part of our DNA. It's in our culture, and I love it. But the tip that I had today is look for investments that create active income. A lot of times you'll see these different opportunities where, you're basically parking your cash 3 to 5 years, or even in the stock market, you're kind of, most of the time, if you're doing the stock market right, in my opinion, you're just playing the long game, riding the ups and downs, and eventually the market increases, But the reality is there are some excellent investment opportunities out there that create active monthly or quarterly income. And those kind of investments are so cool because they really do allow the game of Monopoly to be played, where you can take that active income coming in to go create the purchasing power to have more assets in your portfolio. So to me, as you're looking at the different investments and trying to decide how to go build real wealth and live a life of purpose, that you go find those assets that can create that type of passive income.
Yeah. The thing that I was thinking about as you were saying that is there are investments out there that can give you that, but also eat up a lot of your time. There are very few, if any, investment that could pay you $10,000 a day outside of going out and knocking an 8-hour day.
For
right?
sure. Yeah.
Right? Like there just isn't, it doesn't really exist. So,
and it's pretty weird that it exists in door to
door. It's
right
wild,
now.
right?
Yeah,
So finding the investment that you're talking about where you can have the income, but is also not going to eat up all of your time, because the greatest return in your time right now is knocking that door, because there isn't anything that's paying like that right now. And so to be able to take that money that you're investing your time and then putting into there's so many vehicles that will pay you, but won't eat up your time. Right. And you got to be careful of the management fees and all of that stuff, making sure that that all aligns, but it's, make sure you're using your time wisely and then your money wisely as well.
Well, thanks, Nick. And we appreciate everyone jumping on to a Persepctive. Hopefully, as we ramp towards the summer, you'll hear from us a little bit more often, but we're grateful to be back in the studio and looking forward to just having a massive March. Like, I anticipate March being both a huge recruiting month and production month for Radix. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Love you guys.